With Samantha St. Jean speaking about the Four Loko Ban and her responses to them. Please just state your name and your age.
I'm Samantha St. Jean and I'm 21.
Oh, isn't she adorable, guys? Okay, calm your nerves. Okay, so how do you feel about the Four Loko Ban in New York City?
I feel like it was too much. I think they should have just taken it out of local convenience stores and put it in liquor stores so that little kids wouldn't have access to them, not just completely ban them. I think, it's the government getting into privatized businesses, which is, I thought that was against the Constitution, but yeah, it's
Interesting. You bring up the fact of Four Lokos being in grocery stores as opposed to liquor stores. Are there other forms of alcohol in the store? Are they? How do you feel about them not banning like beers in grocery stores or
well,
other
I
such
feel
things?
as if, there's everyone knows about Smirnoffs and beers, and no one really knew about Four Lokos, and I don't think that counter people really paid attention to it because it looks like Arizona or something. It doesn't really look like a beer can or like a Smirnoff bottle, so they probably didn't really pay attention to it. And they probably didn't even know like the big effect that it had on little kids. But if they knew that, then they should have just moved it to liquor stores, and if it was still a problem against little kids, then they should have banned it from them. But I don't think they should have completely banned it from people that are 21 and have the right to drink it, and now they just took it away from everyone.
Okay. With the banning of Four Lokos, of course, some constitutional rights have been impeded, especially on the state level. How do you feel that we should respond to this? Do you think we're moving toward dictatorship, and how should the people respond to such a heavy set law put in place?
Well, I don't drink Four Lokos, but for the people that do drink Four Lokos, if it's a big issue, because what else are they gonna ban, like Red Bull? Because that is like an energy drink minus the alcohol. They're gonna ban like iced teas from convenience store or across the state. So it could lead. It's opening a door to something that can get bigger than this. So yeah.
Okay, how do you think that, who do you think the target audience is for Four Lokos? Like, who do you think buy them the most, and where do they get them from?
As far as I knew, college students bought them the most, but then in the news they were saying a lot of younger kids were buying it, but then, in the media they always tend to skew their story to sensationalize it to get more views and ratings on it, so who knows who actually, if someone does a study on it, then we would know.
Okay, and uh, considering that news story, do you think that kids really are getting, access to that, and how are they getting access to these Four Lokos?
Well, they are sold in convenience stores, and like I said, I'm pretty sure if a counter person isn't paying attention and there's a long line, he's just going to ring it up and keep moving. So if they go to the convenience store every day, there are plenty of times when I was younger, I could have bought a beer without an ID and no one would have known, so yeah.
Okay. A lot of college students are outraged about the whole Four Loko ban and say that, they're putting blame on the wrong, companies or the wrong people for this, outbreak of alcoholism in college students. Who do you think is really to blame for alcoholism? Is it the student? Is it the convenience store? Is it manufacturers?
It's the manufacturers. You should find out where you're shipping your stuff. If you know it's an alcoholic beverage, especially alcoholic beverage that kids can get access to so easily, and it can be misconstrued as an energy drink, put it in a liquor store where they need ID to really buy it. You need ID anywhere, but it's easier in a convenience store for a kid to get it, especially if it's in a co-full bottle that doesn't really look like a liquor bottle as everything else. So it's on the manufacturers, I think. And then from the manufacturers, it's a convenience store person, whoever's selling it, to make sure that they don't sell alcoholic beverage to children. That is the law in the United States.
One of the other people I interviewed said that in other European countries that there's a big difference between Americans and how they perceive alcoholism and how Europeans perceive alcoholism. For the most part, Europeans are allowed to drink freely at younger ages, as opposed to American children who are allowed to drink at 21. What do you think the difference is? Like, do you think that affects how, these Four Lokos are being sold, or how children have the need to kind of get these Four Lokos?
Well, it's shown in other countries that decriminalize things or make things at a younger age so kids can get access to it. If opposed, like we were able to drink at 18, maybe most kids wouldn't buy it because they'll be like, well, I'm 14, I only have 4 years to wait to buy this drink, as opposed to waiting to 21 to buy the drink. If you look at a lot of countries, they have looser laws, and most kids aren't drunk on the street or buying Four Lokos every day. So I think as the United States, we're always ready to push harsher punishments, but then it just increases the risk of underage drinking or anything that's against the law to rise because you're putting such stigma on it that everyone's going to want to try it, want to know what's the big deal about it, when you could just say it's not that it's not a big of a deal, but you don't need to make it such a big deal that it scares people or it makes people even more inclined to try it.
Yeah. And do you think with this harsh government law, we're on a slippery slope to like a big brother type of government, like sort of like dictatorship? Do you think that we're moving more away from a democracy to a dictatorship, or do you think we still have a good chance of remaining within a democracy?
Well, it's always small things that build up into bigger things, so maybe, you don't know. I don't know, we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, I'm 21.
Okay, so how do you feel about the ban of Four Lokos?
Honestly, I felt like they took it a bit too far. I mean, I feel like that's taking away some sort of freedom. People should be able to choose what they want to drink. And I mean, if it's like death in a can and you choose to drink it, that's your business. Why should we care?
Okay, so what is your response to the government need to act in terms of situations like this where death is involved? Do you think they have the control over life or death, or that should really be an independent decision to make? What borderline do you think there should be between, do not laugh at me, what borderline do you think there should be between government intervening in terms to save lives and not to save lives?
I really think they went too far, to answer your first question, because cigarettes are legal and those kill thousands a day. So if cigarettes can be legal, I don't understand why that can't be legal.
Are you aware of any other type of caffeinated alcoholic drinks such as Four Lokos?
I've heard, I don't know the names, but recently I've heard of some things that are coming out because Four Lokos has been banned. But I mean, it'll be the same thing, so why have banned Four Lokos in the first place?
Okay. And do you think the way that they package their product is a part of why Four Lokos are banned, such as the colorful can, etc., etc.?
No, because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of colorful cans for other non-alcoholic drinks. I mean, colorful can, non-colorful can, it really depends on the person and what they prefer. Who are you to tell me, no, I can't drink this, when people are still smoking cigarettes, giving me secondary smoke? That can kill me too, but those are legal.
Have you ever drunk a Four Loko yourself?
Yes, and they are nasty, but that's just my opinion.
Nasty and how? As in taste?
Taste,
Feel?
it just tastes disgusting. I feel, this is how I feel, with any alcoholic beverage, drink in moderation, don't binge drink, take your time, eat before you drink, do the regular things you're supposed to do before you drink, and everything will be okay. Now, if you're binge drinking, taking shots of this, shots of that, mixing beverages, obviously the outcome is not going to be good. Drink in moderation, handle your business, be responsible, and it's fine. You shouldn't have to be there like a big brother over my back telling me what I can and cannot drink.
Okay. Some say that drinking it in moderation, even doing the proper steps that people do take in order to drink certain alcohols, such as Devil Springs or like an entire bottle of Grey Goose, that it still doesn't have the same effects as Four Lokos. I know you're a bio major, and how do you feel about the combination of caffeine, which is a stimulant, and alcohol, which is, basically perceived as are seen as a depressant?
I don't have too much research on the topic, undergrad, we don't do that kind of stuff. But what I can tell you is, like, obviously the combination is not good, but again, I must reinstate, cigarettes are legal, a lot of other things are legal. If the person wants to take it, the person wants to take it. What can I do for you, honestly? we shouldn't tell people how to run their lives.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. Film me.
It's so bad. 'Cause
Okay, this has been Dow Gladstone here in the Alumni Quad office with the essay Miriam Loko, biology student at University of Albany, 21 years old. And psychology major, as she would like me to remind you guys. Thank you.